Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Just kidding. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Past Examinations Live. I hope the signal is okay. I'm going to sit out here in the sun for first, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so. Because just feels so good to be in the sun. And you guys know I'm doing this whole sunbathing thing every morning just to charge my energy, charge my batteries, and enjoy. You have no video. Is that okay? What? Wait, what's happening? Seems like every day something happens right when mic comes on. What's happening? What is happening? Is something probleming here? But Amy Lister, it's fine here. That does sound nice. I got one of my Trump shirts on. I will be rocking all my Trump gear as per usual. Not that I really ever stopped. Funny that. Oh, good. Everything sounds fine. I hope man, this end button is right next to these buttons. I'm worried. Click. Oops. End of show. Sorry. Oh, hello, Sun God, the Bronze Avenger, the follower of Christ, and Sun Rays. No, the Sun God is S-O-N. God. That's the Sun God. Oh, okay. Amy's all better now. Good, 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 good. How's everybody's day going? So far, so good. I actually just got up, so that's why I didn't have a chance to do my ritual absorption of electro. Oh, you know what? Something. One of the dude that I've been talking about, the doctor, the brain surgeon. I can't remember his name, but one of the things he was talking about is that melanin, the thing that gives your skin color, actually converts light, sunlight, into energy at like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I think it was like 2 to 3 times the rate and efficiency of chlorophyll. Is that crazy? Chlorophyll. Little Genki Dama to start the day. What's up, Orange Avenger? My day would be a lot better if I was fishing instead of being at work. That's tomorrow. Fishing is tomorrow. And so, imagine that. The efficiency of getting energy from the sun instead of half the efficiency of it going into chlorophyll, into these trees here, and then the energy being converted into sugars, and then you eat the sugars from the fruit or the food, whatever the food is, carbohydrates, sugars. That's what it is. It's all energy transference, right? Or energy conversion. But melanin in your skin actually converts sunlight into energy. That's why you feel that energy. It is energy. It's like literally energy. I did not know that, man. I'm so glad I'm not done learning stuff. I love learning new stuff like all the time. Is that a mountain behind my? Why, yes, it is. And if you're from 4chan, you could probably figure out where I live now that you've seen that mountain. I'm too white. I just burned. That's an interesting point. I mean, everyone has melanin in their skin. Does that mean that the darker skinned you are, the more efficient you convert convert sunlight into energy? Does that partially explain the physical prowess of a certain darker skinned I'm sure it's not the whole thing, but that probably doesn't hurt. If your melanin is converting into energy and you are darker than dark, which means you have a maximum amount of melanin, that gives you a biological advantage in, say, running or anything that requires a constant inflow of energy, like, right? Interesting stuff. Boy, the more you learn. So, I need more melanin. Kidding. Um, and that is that why when you tan, is it are you developing more melanin in your skin? I don't know. I don't know. Now I have to look into melanin and how if it just alters to tan or if it multiplies to tan. I don't know. Does anybody know the answer to that question? This has nothing to do with Jesus, but this does. It's his creation. This is his creation. And look, he created it all and he knows how it works and he did it for us for our best. So right. Orange Avenger, like when I was in Afghanistan, I usually got a tan, but it was like 2 months of minor sunburns to get there. Maybe you were in the sun a little too much. Maybe you should have started with 5 minutes in the sun at a time and then built up to 10, and then built up to, look, it's the funny thing. You see Japanese people and you think, oh my gosh, they are so white, right? But like the Japanese farmers, they brown like Mexicans, right? They're brown. And it's all the same genetic pool. It's just they work in the sun their entire lives. So they dark. Their babies aren't dark. Their babies come out white, and then they work them in the sun their whole life, and then they dark. So it's like that's why in Asian culture, it's probably Korea and China. I know it's Japan, but it's probably Korea and China too. The whiter you were, it was a sign of wealth. White and fat, because if you're fat, it showed that you could afford to overeat. And then if you were white, it showed that you did not have to work as a peasant. Only the peasants, the farmers, were dark because they had to work in the sun. This was their. It wasn't racism. It was skinism. But they looked down. The elite and effete looked down on the darker skinned population because they knew that meant your station in life. It was like wearing a badge. I freaking bust my butt for a living. Mike, I took a pic in Discord to show you what I'm working with here. Well, I'm on the phone. I'm not going to the Discord. I understand why some people have a separate science and faith. God is why, and science is how. The nuts and bolts of the universe. That is correct, John Mans. I'm almost the same shade as my sock. What color socks do you wear? I know my brother. He's been living in Portland for decades now. He always wears socks, so it's like he takes his socks off, and it looks like he's still wearing socks because he tans like I do, but not his feet. I wear flip flops. I'd show my feet to you guys, but then I'd get a bunch of foot fetish weirdos rolling in here. All right, so that's what's going on. Let's see. We're still living in a glorious, glorious America. One where, yes, Russia. Was that breaking news yesterday on the video where Russia or Putin said he will not abandon the U.S. dollar? More winning. Bitcoin hit $77,000 a little while ago, so we are still new all-time highs every single day. Let's go. I went to a meeting last night. If you're on my Twitter, you can see that I was there with first Shiptoshi, some of the devs, and then Tina, Aaron from Altcoin Daily, and Wendy O from the Wendy O Show. So Altcoin Daily, for those of you who don't know, he's it's Aaron and his brother. They're twins. But they're the number one crypto channel now. So yeah, that dude's great. I love him. We get to hang out when we all do the thing because he's Tina's boyfriend. Tina's our CMO. And yeah, so we get to hang out, and afterwards we went to dinner and they sat next to me, so we just shut the crap all night. It was good stuff. Good stuff, man. I'm going to post my new video now. Catch you later. All right, Henry. You could have done it after the show, but that's fine. You do what you got to do. Once I get a job, I will check into Bitcoin. And well, I pray you get a job soon. Well, if your animal falls into a ditch or you want to eat something, you can do that. Jesus wasn't big on legalism, March Harris. God said the sacrifice he wanted was people not planning evil one day. Oh, wait, I must have missed some of this conversation. What did Dark Admiral say? I can't find it. Darn it. Darn it. Anybody with common sense will eventually have to admit that all the world leaders respect our newly elected president. Yes. There's a video going around Twitter, X, whatever. I should respect Elon now that he's going to be part of the administration and call it X. There's a video going around X of trying to sound scary and actually being scary. And the first one is Kamala being interviewed, and they're like, "What are you going to say to Putin when he tries to invade a thing?" And she's like, "Don't. Just don't." Ooh. And then another video of Trump going, "I'm going to bomb the S out of them. I don't care. I'm going to do it." It's going to sound a little bit crazy. Like your adversaries will consider that you might actually bomb the S out of their country if they do something untoward, right? I think he told Putin that if he invaded Ukraine, he would bomb Moscow. And Putin's like, this guy, maybe he's crazy enough to do this. Did you happen to watch The View Low IQ Individuals? Oh, Mike, did you happen to catch the comments from The View Low IQ Individuals? Yeah, from the day after the election? It was 2 days ago. Wow. We've been living in a reborn America for 3 days now. And he's not even in office yet. It's glorious. It's glorious. Oh, Amy says, he asked if it was okay to do housework or hobbies, maybe on Sunday or whichever day you have off. Yeah. Yeah. You're just not doing servile work, which means work for money or things of that sort. Yeah, they got so stinking over pedantic. Not pedantic. Is it pedantic? Maybe it is pedantic. Just legal. They got over legal in trying not to break the Sabbath. That they made up 1,000 rules to keep you away from the fence, so that you don't have the choice whether or not to touch the fence to break the Sabbath. Excuse me. My coffee is very light today. I need to go buy some cold brew. And actually, we're about 15 minutes in, so I'm going to head in I'm going to have to mute myself once I get close to the computer so that we don't hear super echo. Make sure my cat's not going to try to sneak out. Yesterday or the other day, Max was waiting at the door for me to open it so that he could freaking dart out. All right. Here I am. All right. Let's remove this young man. Oh, I can't remove it. I have to turn this off. Oh. There we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. And close the door. What? Oh, damn it. I still have this on. Let's mute that. Mute? Stream it. All right. Yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? All better now. What is that? Like somebody brought a bag in here. It's making it look messier in here than it already is. Excuse me. Something in the back. All right. Mike, you need to lay out before the stream starts with your shirt off or you're going to get farmer's tan. I'm generally out there with my shirt off. I mean, I am a little farmer's tanny. Not that bad, right? But it is what it is on a day like this. So it looks like you live there. No big deal. And we're back inside before I got more freckles. Freckles are adorable. I don't get freckles. I just get dark. I'm one of them Japanese folks that just gets dark if I stay out in the... Man, when I was a kid and I was just at the beach like all the time or laying out at my friend's pool or doing whatever outside all the time, I was a darky. I was a darky. dark. Let's see. Where is Dart? Oh, there he is. It was about, I don't know why I couldn't see your thing on my phone. Working on Sunday, like around the house and whatnot. I need to know. Now I need to read my Bible more to learn, but I need glasses. Listen to it then. Get on your phone. Get this. The YouVersion Bible app, right? It's great. And then you just go to Bible and you hit play.
John 20. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciple.
I love it. I listen to that almost every day, almost every single day. And they have different versions. So if you don't like the cometh and these and thous on the King James version, you can do the New King James. Whoever reads it, this is the coolest guy that reads it. This freaking Richard Attenborough dude, whatever his name is. He's I love his voice. I love his intonation, the way he dramatizes certain parts. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have realized how sarcastic Thomas was being when he said, "Let us go and die with him." Right? So it's hearing the Bible. And then plus when you're hearing the Bible rather than reading the Bible, sometimes you get a better overview. You're not getting stuck on, you know how like when I read through with you guys, sometimes I'll stop on every verse. Sometimes I'll stop multiple times in one verse because everything like things stick out to me while I'm reading. You don't get that when you're listening. It's like you get the grandeur of the story or the purpose of the entire story rather than like getting stuck on squirrels. I squirrel when I read. So that's my issue. When I listen, get the whole thing, which is especially for the Old Testament. The Old Testament has so many just like grand stories that you have to listen to in whole. As opposed to like parts of the Bible, it's like you just want to read one line and ruminate on it, right? Meditate on it, develop doctrine, whatever. But in the Old Testament, there's a lot of stuff that's like just broad scoping stories that you just really need to like get through the whole thing to listen to the narrative to get the point. And anyways, I love it. We got an update from our great president-elect. Gavin Newsom is trying to kill our nation's beautiful California. For the first time ever, more people are leaving than are coming in. He is using the term Trump-proof as a way of stopping all the great things that can be done to make California great again. But I just overwhelmingly won the election. People are being forced to leave due to his and others' insane policy decisions. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's too long for me to do the Trump voice. All right. Downloading. Got it. YouVersion. Yay. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. If you don't like that app, Blue Letter and Bible Hub also have audio. Yeah, but this one has the best audio. Do it. I got something on the back of my throat I got to get rid of. What's up, Wrangler? Thanks. I've been trying to decide which app to get. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Yes, he's got a great voice. Technology, I no trust, Kirby says, as from his phone. Probably. Or his laptop. Or his computer. Something. That dude's voice would be great in a game. Yes. Dude, I have... look what I have. I've got Johnny Cash reads the complete New Testament. And Jesus said... Oh, man, I should download this onto my computer again. I wonder if this is probably online somewhere. Actually got that at Thomas Nelson when I was there for a meeting. It was an out of print, or they canceled the print on that particular version, and they had one there, and I'm like, can I have this? I'm like, sure. If I could, I'd send us all back to the Stone Age, says Kirby. Johnny Cash reading it. I'm gonna go. Hold on. Johnny Cash New Testament. It is. It's on. It's on YouTube. Entire screen. Share audio. Let's go. Let's listen to some of this. It's great. Man, this is killing me.
The Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 1. The book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Jacob. And Jacob begot Judah and his brothers.
All right, let's get to something a little meatier.
So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David until the captivity in Babylon are 14 generations.
They're
and
literally
from the
doing this one
captivity in
chapter
Babylon
at a
until the
time?
Christ
Holy cow.
are 14 generations.
All right, let's pick another chapter.
Chapter 23. Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. For they bind heavy burdens.
All right. Actually, this is what you're talking about with this app.
Hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do to be seen by men. They make their phylacteries broad and enlarge the borders of their garments. They love the best places at feasts, the best seats in the synagogues, greetings in the marketplaces, and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But you,
Oh, here's a
do
good
not
one.
be
for the
called
couples
Rabbi, for one is your
and the Jews.
teacher, the Christ, and you are all brethren. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, brethren. Do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, he who is in heaven.
Larry, if you're watching later. The New Testament with his cadence and enunciation. Sweet! I look for that. Johnny Cash reads the Bible physically, but it's expensive if you can find it. Is it really? Maybe I should sell mine. My dad won't let me call him father because of that verse. Father. You are father. But yes, exactly. Yeah, my kids call me daddy. My grown kids. For my Elijah started this because he understood the Abba. Abba doesn't mean father. It means daddy. It's like an endearing way to say dad in Hebrew. And so he transliterated that to call me dad. I'm like, you can call me dad. And he's like, I don't want to. And now all the kids call me daddy. I'm fine with it. It's sweet. Yeah, it is sweet. Elijah's a extra sweet kid. I tried listening to a Bible reading as a sleeping aid once. It didn't work. And I never find out if Paul made it to Caesar. I never did find out if Paul made it to Caesar. I don't think he did. It's not in any of the letters. I'm 60 years old and still call my dad daddy. And my mom, mama. Very nice. All right. Let me, do I have something I can, yes. All right. Hold on. I got to mute for a second. Don't you hate it when you go to a fancy restaurant and whatever you order, you're like, I can make this better at home. I got Loco Moco last night at the restaurant when we went out to eat. And I know this is a totally tangential story. And it comes out and, man, they scamped on the, first of all, the gravy wasn't thick. You have to have thick brown gravy for Loco Moco. I'm from Hawaii. I know Loco Moco. And you can't have thin gravy on your Loco Moco. And then the egg, I'm like, yeah, I want my egg over easy. You know what over easy is? You cook it until it's gelatinous on top, firm on the bottom. You flip it for like 15, 20 seconds. And then you scrape it off and you put it so that the yolk stays runny. My yolk was completely solid. I'm like, I'm paying you guys. Well, I'm not paying, should have paid, but I'm paying you. The meat itself was good. For those of you who don't know what Loco Moco is, it's white rice. I can still eat white rice because it doesn't really bother me. And then hamburger patty, brown gravy, and then you can add other stuff. You can add an egg, right? And you can add mushrooms or onions, seaweed, furikake, whatever. Those are all additional stuff. But just the meat and the brown gravy over rice is, and it's the simplest thing on earth. Brown gravy is the simplest thing to. I mean, you can buy little packets of brown gravy, or you can buy it pre-made. It doesn't matter. But it's got to be thick. Thick. It's gravy. Gravy's got to be thick. And you have to have a lot of it because the gravy has to soak into the rice. And it's just so good. It's the simplest, most delicious thing the Hawaiians ever came up with. And you can go to any freaking fast food place in Hawaii, probably, and get Loco Moco. And it'd be better than what I got last night. The meat was good, so I can't complain about the meat. But just you have to understand local mocha. If you're gonna put it on your freaking menu, sorry. Sounds amazing until you said mushrooms. You don't have to have mushrooms. You have to have some yolk. There's no toast in loco moco. All right, I'm gonna show you guys pictures of a loco moco. Most of you have probably never had loco moco. It is what's a good one? Oh, that's a good one right there. There's a good picture of loco moco. Mm-hmm. Right, very simple. Oh, yeah, and you can put chives on it too and stuff. Very, very simple meal, but so bloody good. It makes me want to just have some right now. It is. I just had it last night. So that's with onions, fried onions. So good. I recommend, anyone can make this. So I recommend, if you've never had it, try it. Like I said, it's the simplest thing. If you're looking for ingredients, brown gravy, hamburger patty, rice, egg. So good. Such a great combination. All right. We should probably get to the rising sun. We are half an hour into this, just talking about nonsense. Did the rice make you go to sleep? No, it didn't. And then that's funny thing, you're squirreling me all over the place. So the rice that my wife used for the chicken, she said that it was the rice that was already in the rice cooker, which meant it had cooled already and then so it wasn't the rice that was making me tired. I don't know what it was. It's very strange. It was really weird. What's that called when an egg is cooked all the way through? Ruined. Unless you mean a hard-boiled egg. The yolk, a warm, uncooked yolk is like liquid of the gods. It's like so good, and it's so good for you. Egg yolk is so good for you. It's like a nutrient pack. Actually, that's what it is. The egg yolk is the nutrient pack for the growing embryo of whatever that we're talking about. Chickens here, right? For the chicken absorbs the embryo, absorbs the yolk to grow because it's a freaking nutrient pack. It's nature's perfect nutrient delivery system because it's made to grow embryonic bodies. And it's delicious. So, anyways, egg yolk is full of minerals, vitamins and minerals and all the stuff literally, like quite literally, everything a growing body needs. Arlene says, I used to eat a Korean soup. I can't remember the name, but it came out as a big bowl of boiling broth. I added raw egg once it cooked. I dumped in the meat, veg, noodles. Yum, yum. You mean a hot pot? Sounds kind of like a hot pot. So you ordered thick gravy and thin egg yolks and got thin gravy and thick egg yolks. Correct. All right. Let's get to the Bible. Shall we get to the Bible, ladies and gentlemen? This is the date today, November 8th. Matthew 25, 14 to 30. I think I actually listened to this morning. King James Online. Matthew 25, 14 to 30. Matthew 25. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da. A dyslexic cook. 14 to 30. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. I can't do it. Can't do it. Hold on.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability. And straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them another 5 talents. And likewise he that received 2 also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and did his Lord's money, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh, and reckoneth with them, the reckoning. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. He must have invested in Bitcoin. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliveredst me unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained another 2 talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and I hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Interest, folks. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he that and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. What am I reading to? Oh, I knew it. That was a new story. All right. I overread by 1, but it's okay. I always thought a talent was like 20 pounds worth of something, because I don't. It's a measure. It is a measure of weight. But my AJ at church, he was saying that a talent is sort of a lifetime's worth of money. I'm gonna grok this because I don't know where he's getting his information, and I did not get my information. I mean, I just got mine over the years, so I'm not really sure. You overheard repent. All right. In ancient Rome, what would be considered a talent of gold? Let's ask that. A talent was a unit of weight used for measuring precious metals, including gold. While the exact weight of a talent could vary by time and region, the most commonly referenced talent in Roman context is the Attic talent. This was a Greek standard, but widely recognized due to the influence of Greek culture on Rome. The Attic talent was approximately 26.2 kilograms. Okay, not pounds, kilograms. Or 57.5 pounds of gold. The Roman talent, the Romans used their own system where 1 Roman pound, libra, was around 327.45 grams. The Roman talent was usually understood to be 100 Roman pounds, which would make it roughly 32.75 kilograms or 72.2 pounds of gold. That's a lot of gold. This amount of gold would represent an immense fortune, enough to buy a large estates, fund public works, or serve a significant reserve for a city or even a nation's treasury. Wow. All right, so he was saying that it's basically a lifetime supply of money, which, yeah, is 70 pounds of gold would definitely, even in today's context, right? Let's see how much 72 pounds of gold would be. Let's just do 70 pounds. How much would 70 pounds of gold be in USD today? Why does it do? Wait, ayo, $2.778 million. So yes, it would be a lifetime supply of money. So that's why it's like the guy who only got one talent, he won the lottery. And what did he do with his lottery winnings? He buried them in the ground, waiting for his master to come back. Not a good use of your blessings. I always say use your time, talent, and treasure. I mean talent like skills and stuff, but that's a treasure part of talent, right? If you can't see that you've been blessed, and I think this is kind of the whole, if you boil down the metaphor here, if you can't use your blessings to bless others, then you're missing the whole boat. You're missing the whole message of the scriptures. Love others as you love yourself, right? Bless others as you have been blessed. The guy with 10 talents returns another 10, or the guy with 5 talents returns another 5 talents. 2, 2, 1, 0. And this dude was blessed beyond measure. Literally like winning the lottery. Like your rich uncle died and left you $3 million. Are you going to bury it and wait for interest rates to... Actually, there was no interest rates back then. So he didn't appreciate the value of what he had been given. Exactly. I'm using what little talent I have for my YouTube channel. Me too, except for I'm trying to finish this other job so I can get back to YouTubing regularly. Although that Lara Croft video, let's see if it's still chugging along. It's been doing very well. I wish I had other subjects like Lara Croft that could keep me chugging along. I'm at 11,832 subs now. So Netflix adaptation. Let's see the analytics here. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's tapering off a little bit, but man, it's at 24.7 thousand views. And still, last 48 hours got 868 views. I can't complain, but I got to get back to making those videos. And that's not the topic of this show. What is up, Larry Romano in the house? I'm streaming on my channel, right? Streaming? How can you be streaming and watching somebody else's show? What are you doing? Tina says, I have an uncle who still buries and hides his money. He's anti-bank. You should make him do a deep dive on Bitcoin, because what he's doing is letting interest burn away all of his value. Oh my gosh, did you hear about this? It was a while ago. Some couple was out on a trek, like a hike, right? And they saw something glistening in the sun on the side of the path. They go down. Oh, sorry. Shh. Shush. No, pause. I'm gonna go look at Henry Thrune's channel. They go down and they look and they're like scoot away some dirt. They find like an old tin can full, literally full of gold coins from like 1920 or something like that. You know, back when gold coins were only worth $20. They were $20 gold coins. Oh my gosh. That was probably, I mean, gold is significantly heavier than other metals. That was probably, if I had to guess, 7 to 8 pounds worth of gold. In like, because somebody like your who was it, your dad, your uncle, grandpa, whatever, your uncle. It was like your uncle burying his gold. Some dude buried it on a freaking walking trail. And then he died, I guess. Henry, I don't see your channel on here. Is it Corner Fringe Ministries? Da, da, da. I was doing something else and checked out Mike's channel. I wonder if we can get an infinite loop if Mike streams my stream of me streaming him. What's the name of your channel, dude? It's not. YouTube's like that. If there's other people named Henry Thrun and they have more. Oh, there we go. We're streaming the streaming of the streaming. I'm gonna mute those. All right, I will show you streaming my stream. There you go. For some reason, I'm being EFAP'd by Henry while he watches our show. Hi, Henry. How you doing? I'm not going to wait. It's going to be like 15 seconds for him to answer and then blah, blah, blah. So we can't do that. But there's an NHL player named Henry. Yeah, that's who was popping up. Very, very interesting. And now Mike's EFAPing me. I'll make you famous. Everybody go over and Henry, do you have a... Yeah, you can drop your link in there, Henry. All right. Let us read the devotional du jour. What was I even just talking about? Gold? Why am I talking about gold? Man, I wish I could stumble on a can of gold coins. That would be so sick. Can you imagine? My dad left me and my brother these 5-pound bars of silver from like the 80s. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but in the 80s, the price of silver was going nutty. Precious metals were going crazy until I can't remember what the event was that just made it all collapse. But it was like screaming up, and then it was my dad said, he's like, I'm selling these when they hit $50 an ounce, because they were like 5 pounds, right? That was a significant amount of money in the 80s. And he, I think maybe it hit 50 or it got close. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, I'm going to sell these tomorrow. And then like overnight, the market collapsed on silver. I was like, missed it by that much. And then I inherited it, and I ended up selling it, I think when silver was $19 a pound. Not a pound, an ounce. So it was all right. Finding a can of gold coins, yeah, that would be amazing. I know. Can you imagine if you had like, you know how they have LiDAR now and it can measure? What if you had something like LiDAR on a drone, but it could actually detect gold? And you like zoom it around places and trying to find where people like buried their gold. Like, excuse me, sir, I'm with SDG&E. I have to go in the back and check one of your gas lines. I'll be doing a little bit of digging. Pay no attention to me. That's what pirates did: steal gold coins and bury them in a chest. Like, they probably already have some kind of tech like that. Do you think? Do you think? I doubt you could actually access it, though. You live next to an ocean, Mike. There's probably a gold-laden shipwreck not far from you. No, we're on the Pacific coast. I do have a story called Kid's Adventure. It's about, it's kind of like a Goonies treasure hunt sort of a story with a family that goes out and tries to find Captain Kidd's lost treasure. I should probably rework that story. Anyways, we only have 10 minutes left. You guys make me waste all this time talking about gold and squirrels and Johnny Cash. All right, missed opportunities. It is often thought that the talents in Matthew represent one's giftings or abilities. But this cannot be, since the talents are distributed according to one's ability. The talents, therefore, are not the abilities themselves, but the opportunities one has to use them. Since Matthew 24:3, Jesus has answered the question, "What will be the sign of your coming?" He gives no date, but uses this parable and its predecessor to teach about faithfulness during the wait. The parable of virgins emphasizes readiness, while the parable of talents emphasizes working. Together, they provide a balanced perspective. Be watchful and busy until Jesus comes again. In this parable, the master, already knowing his slave's skills and talents, apportions responsibility proportionately to each. They would have to steward their talents during his absence and give an account of their service upon his homecoming. Since all three were perfectly capable of managing their share, the master expects them to be profitable. No one is being asked to do more than they can handle. Paul understood this when he said, "By the grace of God, I am what I am. I am's what I am." And his grace toward me was not in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them. Through nurture and nature, God had molded Paul into the man that he was. And now, and now Paul was determined to put to maximum use whatever advantages, privileges, and aptitudes were given to him. He played to win, saying God's grace toward him would not be wasted. It was not in vain. In the end, Paul would have something to give back, and God would receive a return on his investment. In contrast to Paul's diligence, the one-talent slave was worthless and lazy. He made no effort whatsoever. He did nothing, thought about nothing, and invested nothing. In short, he was fruitless, which is the mark of an unbeliever. Further exposing his true condition, the slave blames the master for his failure, calling him a hard man. The master depicts God in this parable. Of all the asinine things to say, is God unmerciful or ungracious? Does he lack compassion? Is he unkind, insensitive, or impatient? Of course not. To top it all off, the slave accuses the master of thievery. This is what it means to reap where one has not sown, or gather where one has not scattered seed. The master's response, I didn't think about that. The master's response does not confirm the accusation. In effect, he replies, "If you thought that..." Why do I have a 1 o'clock alarm? Why do I have a 1 o'clock alarm? Is there something I'm supposed to be doing right now? In effect, he replies, "If you thought that, then why didn't you at least do something, anything?" By his lack of, and by his attack, the unprofitable servant ultimately reveals himself to be fake. Like the one-talent slave, many outwardly associate with the kingdom of God, but inwardly do not belong. Upon Jesus' return to earth, they will be unmasked as frauds and pretenders and assigned their place with the hypocrites. Based on your talents, abilities, privileges, skills, giftings, and possessions, what slice of kingdom work has been commissioned to you? You guys, if you've been watching this at channel for any time, already know the answer to that, so I won't bother. There is a temptation to be legalistic, run oneself ragged, and overcommit due to fear and obligation. How does one guard against this? Remember, the slaves did not create their own opportunities. They only had to do what the master had given them to do and nothing more. Well, I think we were talking about that earlier with the Sabbath, right? God's laws are black and white, but you don't build fences around the law in order to get away from having to make the choice of whether or not to touch the law. You don't want to live life where you're trying to get as close to the wall as you can, or the law, and like, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. But at the same time, you don't want to be like, oh, I can't do that. Therefore, I can't do these 3 things because it'll keep me far, far away from that. That's legalism. And that's how does Jesus put it? Adding the traditions of man, right? Treating the traditions of man as the law rather than just letting the law be the law and then doing your best to not break it. All right, daily prayer. Lord, make us faithful servants. Amen. That was the shortest prayer in the history of these books. Where did I put my thing? All right, that is it for week 9. We are in week 10 next week, ladies and gentlemen. By Colton. He's our youth group leader. November 11th. That is my daughter's friend's birthday. And then November 12th, that's the day I have to go get the ring for I'm getting my old wedding ring resized for my daughter's fiance. So it'll fit him. I have to go pick that up on the 12th. And then 15, 16, 17. And then on Sunday, my daughter gets married. My sweet and only girl getting married on Sunday. Crazy. Love and God bless you all. Thanks, Mike. You got it, Johnny. That always confused me. What? Awesome. Thank you. I have 2 daughters, and their birthdays are November 2 and 6. Mine is the 24th. My daughter just got a promise ring for her 18th. Aw. Congrats again to Eden. Thank you very much. Great squirrel chasing today. Great lesson, too. 5 words. 6 if you count amen. So putting the money in the bank is the level of investment that he knew the third servant could handle. I thought it represented a minimal action grudging Christians needed to perform to please God. I mean, I don't know if it's the minimum, but he's saying, like, if you didn't think you could do anything, then at least do something. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's the way it reads. I just thought that's funny. Congrats again to Mike and your growing family. I know. And then grandson in January. I can't wait to have a little grandson. I love babies. I love having babies. And I'm going to have a baby I can squish and nobody's going to be like, hey, man, get your hands off my baby. Because all my nieces and nephews live so far away, I can't just squish the little buggers. Some of them are in Kansas. Some of them are, my grand nieces and the ones that are still making babies. Portland, Kansas, Germany. I can't. Oh, well. God asks us to do as much as we are capable of doing. Amen. Don't be sniffing the baby. I'm not one of those. I know people, some people are like, I love the smell of newborn baby. I'm like, I don't. You're smelling shampoo. Love this stream. All right, that's it. Thanks everybody for being here. God bless us all and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend in the reborn Teflon Don America. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examination.
Back in line, you dog! on your feet. Get them going.